tonight we are going to work with the heart chakra. We're going to learn to open our heart. We're going to let go of tension in these areas. So for tonight's class, I'd highly recommend something to prop the hips. These blankets in a trifold do an amazing job. But any kind of pillow or anything like that to lift the hips, it's going to be really nice. If you have blocks, these are really nice to use too. Great blocks. You could use books or anything that's square, and a strap. If you have a yoga strap, that's great, but you could always use a belt or anything strap-like. So tonight we're going to start in seated sukhasana, using the blanket skillfully. If you have something in a square shape, turn it on a diamond shape. That way you can find the sits bones right here on the edge of the blanket, and when you come down, it lifts the hips up a little bit. It's a lot different than being flat to the ground. Look at this. I lose that nice curvature in the spine, making it less efficient for me. So if I use this blanket, you can see the difference here. Even just raising the hips. Now I can kind of use that diamond shape, sit up a little bit taller like this. Yeah. And we get that curve in the lumbar. So we're creating that lumbar curve, and then we're really going to work in the thoracic part of the spine tonight, which is the area of the heart chakra. Opening the heart. So this is where we're going to start, of course, with the breath. So in yogic science, of course, the breath holds the mind and the body together. Without the breath, we're not here for very long. It's really this glue that holds you into this human experience so we can experience this dualistic universe. And so I would highly recommend closing the eyes here, or having the eyes 1/10 open with the gaze down. And we're already going to start in this heart area, which includes the shoulders, the rotator cuff, the scapula or shoulder blades. So one thing we can do is take the hands on the knees and curl the fingers around the knees and just pull back on the knees a little bit and pull that heart through, and you just sit up a little bit taller, sort of lifting that crown up and out. And this actually helps the shoulder blades drop back and down, and I recommend that too. Maybe taking the shoulders to the ears, press them back and let the shoulder blades or the scapula almost separate from the body. The scapula is a floating bone. It's not really attached to much of anything. So do that a few times. Take the shoulders up, press it back and away. Let the shoulder blades melt down the back, and you're already releasing. Maybe there's popping, creaking, cracking happening. And pulling back on the knees right at the end with the fingers, you pull that heart through and really get that lumbar curve. One more time, and then just drop them back and down, and then shake out the elbows here. And we're going to take a moment to just focus on the breath, which is a big part of opening any chakra. And so a chakra is an energy center, and throughout the class we'll maybe point to some of the teaching on that. But right now, closing those eyes, pulling that heart through, relaxing the shoulders back and down, pressing the sits bones into the earth, lifting through the crown. And then we're going to use an ancient technology, Anjali hand mudra, to bring the attention to the heart right away. So on that next inhale, bring the hands off the knees and press the hands together and evenly, and this balances the hemispheres of the brain. So this is technology, these mudras, helping the body and the mind connect in a deeper way, these upper realms, mental realms, and physical realms. Having this human experience, yoga, the union of those two. Taking the thumbs, press those into the heart and relax the shoulders, and that's the technology. You can feel where the thumbs touch the heart center. And this automatically brings your attention to the heart center. And we're just going to start to deepen our breath, and we recommend this breath throughout the practice, Dirgha Swasam, and otherwise, maybe instructed otherwise in some places, but here, inhaling, filling the belly, feel that breath move up through the chest and the rib cage, feel the side body open, and take that breath all the way up to the shoulders and the collarbones in a relaxed way. And then exhale, allow the shoulders to relax, let that breath move through the side body. And then pull the navel up underneath the rib cage a little bit, just sort of squeezing the bottom of the lungs, breathing through the nose if the passages are clear. And you might even want to bring a little voluntary smile to the face. This helps bring this smiling energy. It actually tricks the body. Just noticing that the breath has these 4 parts: an inhale, a little pause, an exhale, and a little pause. And if you still feel like your mind is wandering, you can even add this, I love. On the inhale, say to yourself, here. And on the exhale, say to yourself with the voice in the head, now. And this will give the voice in the head something to do. Just here now. And watching that breath, feeling the heart center where those thumbs touch, bringing energy and breath and prana move to wherever you bring your attention. So here, bringing our attention to this heart center. And some people even like to maybe visualize sort of a glowingness or an aliveness or a brightness on the inhale, just getting brighter with each breath, coming to the center of the human experience. Deep breath in. And then we're just going to let the hands come to the knees here. Curl those fingers around the knees. On that next inhale, you can even curl the fingers under a little bit and pull that heart through and squeeze the scapula together. It's almost like you bring the elbows towards the body. And on the exhale, we're just going to carve out that belly, pull that navel back towards the spine. And so I'll show you my pace with it, but you could take any pace with it. Really feel those shoulders pull through. It's like you're pulling back on the knees a little bit. You pull that heart through and the scapula is squeezed together, and you can feel that. Inhale, bringing that attention to the back of the heart if that's available. You might even want to close your eyes here. Notice how the shoulder blades move towards the spine as you pull the heart through, and on the exhale they expand away from each other, bringing your attention to this knot that forms behind the heart, which is called a granthi in yoga. And remember, you can take this at any pace. You could be like this. Take it at your pace. This is your practice. Never go over your edge into pain or discomfort. We only come up against it and then back off. Inhale, pull that heart through. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, navel to the spine. On that next inhale, when it happens and it's convenient, float those hands up on the inhale. Turn the palms away from each other. Reach out through the fingertips so you sort of straighten the elbows if that's available. but we're not trying to force anything. We're just reaching out, sitting up tall through the crown. On the inhale, big open heart. So as you open, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, carve out that belly again. Pull that navel up underneath the spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, carve. Inhale, open. Exhale. Take it at your own pace. And almost feel like you're pressing into the sits bones. You're reaching past the fingertips on each one. So as you open, you're really bringing those shoulder blades together. The attention can be behind the heart again. Take it at your pace. Big inhale, open. Exhale, reach through the fingertips, press through the sits bones. Inhale, sweep those arms up over the top of the head. Reach through those fingertips. Exhale, turn the palms away from each other, from the elbows under, and then press down into T. Good. Reach through the fingertips the entire time. Inhale, flip palms, elbows under. Exhale, reaching through the fingertips, press through the sits bones, turn the palms away from each other, press down into a T position. Take it at your own pace. Breathing. Inhale, sweep those arms, press the hands into each other evenly, and then take that light, slight back bend from the brow line or across the shoulders. As you press the hands into each other, press the sits bones into the earth, that chin. We're not bringing it down to the chest. It's nice and parallel. This is active, active. You're pressing into the hands. Good. Next, exhale. Let's take that left hand, drop it to the back of the neck. Use the right hand to guide the elbow into unicorn horn. Open up the back of that shoulder. So it's almost like you're pressing the arm into the back of the head and the head into the back of the arm. We're opening up the rib cage here on this left side. It's so beautiful. Opening the ribs, spreading those intercostal muscles between the ribs. This is where we start to get tension. You hold grudges. You don't see the unity in things. You don't understand that everything is in relationship. This starts to build up tension. You're starting to open the rib cage. Breathe, breathe, breathe. On that next exhale, here we go. Just drop that right hand to the back of the neck. Take that left hand, guide that elbow. Press the back of the arm into the back of the head, head into the back of the arm. Gently to your edge. Opening that shoulder, breathing deep into it. Send your attention, wherever you bring your attention, that's where prana or energy, or prana isn't really breath, but it's more of an intelligence. But you're bringing that intelligence, you're opening all these tensions when we've closed down in the heart, when we don't understand it, when we're seeing things from one perspective. When we're not letting things be the way they are. Good. Slide the hands out, interlace the fingers behind the head. Awesome, blooming sunflower. On that next inhale, we're going to press the sits bones into the earth, really open up through the heart. It's almost like you're pressing the hands, and then on the exhale, gently, gently bring the chin to the chest. Put a little bit of weight on the back of the head if that's available. Good. Inhale, open, press the head into the hands. The elbows open, we press out through that heart, press through the sits bones. Exhale, bring that chin to chest. Good. Inhale, opening. Exhale. Really starting to get into, so the heart chakras, the shoulders. Oh my God. Big time. The arms, the hands. This is all part of the heart chakra, the lungs. Good. And so this area starts to get tension. The mind and the body are connected. They're two sides of the same stick. It would be impossible for them to be separate. One more time. Bring that chin to chest. Exhale. Open those elbows. Good. Beautiful. Gently dropping those hands. Take a look down at the legs. We're going to bring the knees together, lengthen those legs long, bounce out the legs a little bit. Good. Let them move from side to side. Awesome. Here we go. Coming back into seated Sukhasana, coming forward. You can take that blanket or whatever you were sitting on, get that out of the way, and we're going to come into a table position. We bring the hands underneath the shoulders, the fingers are spread wide, the knees are underneath the hips. It's almost like you're trying to get the weight to the inside where this thumb and pointer finger meet here. So it's like you're turning two jars under your hands almost, and you're bringing that weight. Good. Tuck those toes under, press the hips back towards the heels, and push it up into your first downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let the head hang, yes and no with the head, keeping that weight to the insides of the hands. That really helps save the wrists here. Pedal out those heels as you're breathing, long, slow, and deep. Keep that breath. Bend knees, look between the thumbs. Step up or walk up to the hands. Spread the toes wide, grab the mat, and keep a nice bend in the knees for your first forward bend here, guys. Letting the head go, yes and no with the head. Lift those toes, start to stretch that little piece of mat between the feet. Soften the knees on an exhale, lift through the sits bones. You're just warming up the hamstrings. Getting everything moving, soften the knees, and then on the exhale, lift the sits bones, press the backs of the knees towards the wall behind you, letting the head go, yes and no. We might even want to take waterfall where we grab the elbows here. Keep that breath, getting blood to the cerebral cortex. Yes, breathing, getting blood to the face. And if we're breathing deep, we're really making that prana rich, life force. Soften the knees, float those arms out into a T, stretch that mat between the feet, reverse swan dive all the way up. Press those hands into each other evenly, slight back bend bra line, stretching the mat between the feet. Exhale, pull those hands down through heart center. Dropping the hands to the side body here. Let's lift the toes, grab the mat with the toes, start to stretch that mat between the feet. And then on an inhale, take the shoulders to the ears, press the shoulder blades back and away, reach through the fingertips. So you're really dropping those shoulders. And then if it's available, turn the palms out from the elbows under, spreading the fingers wide, and so there's energy in the hands. You're stretching the mat between the feet, and so much that the kneecaps even lift gently, and the glutes actually activate. So this is an active posture. And then if your chin is maybe down to your chest here, let's bring that chin parallel, maybe a little above parallel, and then gently drop that down, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Closing the eyes here, breathing, sensing, and feeling this body. And so the first chakra, or energy center, really deals with organizing anything atomic or subatomic, any particles floating around, the building blocks of this dualistic experience. They're heavy, solid, the root. And then the second chakra is where we maybe add some movement. Even the element at the second chakra or energy center, which is located more in the pelvic region, is water. So think of water. So we take, those subatomic or atomic or giant particles, matter, can't move without viscosity. And so The second chakra brings this movement, this viscosity. And then when we bring this movement and viscosity, these atoms and molecules start to bounce off each other and create friction and heat and energy, which is all about the third chakra, the solar plex region, from the navel down, and our will. And so these first three chakras, really, that's our human experience. And then we jump to this heart. And so we have this independent sort of experience that's happening. And then as soon as we jump to the heart, we move to where relationships are. And the element here is air in the heart, Anahata chakra, unstruck. And so the heart naturally lets things be in relationship with each other. And so if we find tension in the shoulders and in the heart, or we have trouble with the lungs or breathing, or, you know, we can start to let go of some of this tension with our asana practice, the body, but also in some of this mental tension, and all mental tension becomes physical tension if it's chronic. So tonight we're really going to move through and practice a lot of heart opening, so we remove some of those tensions, and probably more tensions will come tomorrow. I mean, nobody expects a human experience to be without some kind of suffering or challenges. It's what makes us grow. But we can reduce that, because if it builds up too much and we have too much tension mentally in this very airy space where all relationships exist, then we have trouble getting out of those first three chakras. We're trapped in this individual. And so here really the greatest lesson is we don't really, you know, so much go looking for and then somehow find this openness, which is called love. Allowing everything to be in unity with no questions asked, unconditional love. We don't find it somewhere and then get it and then have it for a while and lose it. Really the lesson here is to understand that it's about connecting to it. It's already here. The planets are in a relationship. The stars are in a relationship to the planets. This body is a whole series of relationships. And then we're in relationship with each other. And so it's not about finding or connecting to love. It's more about realizing that you're always connected to it, and you're always connected to everything else in this airy space. On that next inhale, soften the knees, sweep those arms. Nice slight back bend, bra line. Exhale, lead hard, hinge hips. Nice forward bend. Bend knees, plant hands, step back with that right foot. Left foot, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, push up plank. So here in push up plank, we don't want to kind of be like this. We want the body in one straight line. We can separate the feet a little bit. We get the heels over the balls of the feet, that weight to the insides of the hands. You're breathing, the fingers are spread wide, the gaze is down. Lengthen the neck. If you feel like the shoulders are crowding the ears, pull those shoulder blades back and down. We're really going to work with the shoulders tonight. On that next exhale, you can either lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana or drop knees, chest, chin. Lowering down. On the next inhale, peel up into Cobra. So we're pressing the pelvis into the mat, the tops of the feet. We're pulling the hands back towards the body. That gets that heart. You're pulling that heart through. The shoulders are backing down. This is a heart opening posture. Feel yourself, bring that attention to the back of the heart and take a few breaths here. Next, exhale, gently lower this body, tuck toes, push the hips back to the heels. That really saves on the wrist, so when we come into down dog, we get that weight to the insides of the hands. Press it up, pedal out the heels, let that head hang. Take a few breaths here, downward facing dog. Bend knees, plant hands, step, hop, walk up to the hands. Nice forward bend, let the head go, yes and no. Float those arms to T, bend knees, sweep those arms, reverse swan dive, up, slight back bend, broad line, exhale, pull those hands down into heart center, gently dropping the hands to the side body, turning the palms out. Taking a few breaths here, it's nice to close the eyes. Awesome. And we're just going to open the heart a little bit here by gently taking one hand back, placing the hand with the palm face out, press the top of the hand into the lower back, and then take the other hand, palm face out. Start to squeeze the scapula and press the heart through. So it's like we're trying to bring the elbows together a little bit, just to wherever your own pace is. Pulling that heart through, breathing. We're also grabbing the mat with the feet, stretching that little piece of mat between the feet. The chin is parallel. Take a few breaths. Awesome. Releasing those hands, give the shoulders a few rolls. Soften the knees, nice inhale, sweep those arms, slight back bend, broad line, exhale, lead hard, hinge hips. Soften knees, step back with that right foot, come to the ball of the foot here. We're framing the foot with the hands here, coming into a nice lunge if it's available. You could drop the knee maybe, if that is what you like to do. Or tuck toe, lift knee. Some people might even want to raise on up, making sure those hips are square. If you feel like that knee is dropping inward, we really want to open that up and out to the pinky toe. And we have the nice square hips here. On an inhale, we can sweep those arms maybe up here, or if we want to add the heart chakra here, a nice heart opener, you could gently drop the hands into Yoga Mudra, gently interlacing the fingers here, maybe bringing the palms together, maybe not. Squeeze the scapula together, stretch out through that heart. You could stay right here, or on your next exhale, when that happens for you, folding forward. And we're pressing the hands away from the body here. You're stretching that mat between the feet. The gaze is down and you're breathing deep here. Good. Inhale, press through the feet. Slowly float it on up. Squeeze scapula, release those hands. Inhale, sweep those arms. Nice slight back bend, broad line. Exhale, let's frame that foot. Stepping back with the left foot. Downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward into push-up plank. I'm going to offer a breath here. We can snap the navel back to the spine and we can sort of come into this breath here, Kapalabhati, where we're really taking the exhales, or keep that breath long, slow, and deep. Exhale, drop those knees. If you can, flatten the tops of the feet to the mat. Gently coming down, elbow under shoulder, fingers spread wide here. We're going to come into a forearm plank. Tuck those toes. You could stay here with the knees down. This is already beautiful. Or you could press through the feet here. Nice. Separate the feet a little bit. Come into one straight line with the body. Long, slow, deep breathing, or Kapalabhati breath. Next exhale, gently drop the knees. Gently, if you can press the tops of the feet into the mat, that's beautiful. You don't have to. You could have the toes tucked here. Start to press the pubic bone or the pelvic region into the mat. At the same time, you're pulling back on the forearms and you're pulling your heart through into Sphinx pose. Tops of the feet, tops of the thighs, gently press into the mat. You're reaching through the toes. So it's active, active, active. Nice heart opener here. Great place to bring your attention is right between the shoulder blades. Really breathe into that area. Close the eyes. And so we can look at some of these important relationships that, you know, we're all in this together. First of all, we all have the same wants and desires, just in different varieties. Breathing here. So the first thing we can do is let that be. We can see that we're really not in charge of how somebody else chooses their human experience, and we're in relationship with that person no matter what. 3 more deep breaths here. And if you ever need to come out of these poses, come out at any time you need to. Remember, this is your practice. On that next exhale, gently lower this body. Slide those hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes. Push the hips back towards the heels, push it up. Downward facing dog. Pedal out those heels a little bit. So we're gonna step up with that right foot. Some people might need to, help come down to the knee and help that foot up. Whatever you need to do to get that right foot. Some people like three-legged dog, where we raise that right leg, bring that knee into the chest and drop that foot. Here we choose a lunge. Maybe it's the knee drop tonight, foot framed with the hands toe tucked. We can maybe lift the knee, foot framed, or pressing through the feet, really stretching that mat, slowly coming up. Nice square hips. That knee is over the ankle. Yeah. It's dropping out towards the pinky toe, and we're gonna inhale, sweep those arms. This time, exhale, cactus arms, and make the exhale twice as long as the inhale. Great technology for that. Pierce the lips on the exhale. So we're gonna inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, pierce lips, press the shoulder blades, exhaling slowly out the mouth. Really open that heart. We have to allow what is, or else we get tensions built up, and the more tensions we get, the less we look out through loving eyes. So just here, let go of your viewpoints and opinions. Be free. A big inhale, open. Exhale, scrape. Inhale, sweep those arms. Slight back bend. Exhale, frame that foot. Stepping up with the left, forward bend. Bend knees, float those arms, stretch that mat between the feet, reverse swan dive all the way up. Nice slight back bend, broad line, stretching mat. Exhale, pull those hands down into heart center. Yeah. Gently drop the hands to the side body. Lift the toes. Grab that mat, stretch that mat between the feet. We can lift up through the crown, coming back into our mountain pose, Tadasana. Bring your attention to the back of the heart. And so we're in relationship with others, and we can let go, we can let be. Forgiveness is a great energy that resides here. Forgiveness helps us more than anything else. It lets go of major mental, energetic tensions. And so we have all these relationships with others and the world and things and particles. But then we also have this intimate human experience too. And so you're in relationship with this body. And just as you breathe here in Tadasana, see if you can be the same way without a viewpoint or opinion. You know, I have curly hair, but I wish I had straight hair, or I wish this was different about my body, or whatever it is. First, vanity is the first thing, you know, that's the obvious and grossest level of just recognizing, but you can almost talk to the body. Tell it, or listen, you can listen to the body, which is really amazing. When you're quiet and still, the body says, you should sleep, or have a drink of water, or there's a lot of tension here, let me show you. And so just be okay with the way that it is. It doesn't mean that we don't change it or we let go of our goals. That's not yoga or opening here. It's just realizing that air allows everything evenly. That's the element here at the heart chakra, air. It's spacious, it's open. Be open to this body the way it is. Almost this deep surrender. And then feel this body wherever you might feel tension. See it gently swaying, see it breathing. On that next inhale, soften the knees, sweep those arms, slight back bend, broad line. Exhale, eat hard, hinge hips, nice forward bend. Bend knees, plant hands. We're gonna step back with that right foot. This time we're gonna put it on a 45-degree angle. We're really gonna cut an edge. We're gonna keep that knee over the ankle in the front. We could stay here with the foot framed for Warrior One, or press through the feet. You're really stretching this piece of mat between the feet. And if your hips are kind of off to this side, you can square the hips off. You could always step that back foot out if you need to square it off. Get that knee over the ankle, good. If our heart is here, we want to bring everything forward. Next, inhale. We're going to sweep those arms. Bring the hands together over the top of the head. Take that slight back bend from the broad line. Breathing. Stretching that mat. You're pressing the hands into each other evenly. If this isn't available, you could always just bring the hands up like this. And then on your next exhale, if it's available, let those hands float on down. Again, Yoga Mudra, interlacing the fingers, squeeze scapula. Lift through the heart, exhale, coming forward with Yoga Mudra, Warrior One. Or just stay right where you are. Gaze is down, you're stretching the mat, you're breathing. Inhale, press through the feet, squeeze the scapula together, release the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms, slight back bend. Exhale, frame that foot. We're popping to the ball, the right foot, sending that left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, push up plank. Long, slow, deep breathing here, or Kapalabhati. Next, exhale, gently lowering down through chaturanga or dropping the knees. Chaturanga, we push up the toes, keep those elbows in. We're moving through chaturanga, dropping down to the mat here. Turn the cheek to the mat and bring those arms alongside this body. And just take a few deep breaths here. Feel that connection with earth. And here's another relationship, our relationship with nature, recognizing this body as just animated particles of earth that we're borrowing. And this human experience is the intelligence to organize those particles and create energy, have relationships and patterns. Good. But we have this relationship with nature. We're part of this earth. And so maybe see the unity as you lie here. And this is opening your heart. Whenever we move to union or unity or center, the central, choiceless, neutral, letting go of viewpoints and opinions, and seeing we're all connected. On that next inhale, turning the face towards the mat here. Awesome. We're just going to reach through the fingertips and pull the heart up off the mat just a little bit. If you can, press the tops of the feet, activate the tops of the legs and the quadricep muscle group. Good, reaching through the toes a little bit. We're going to come in for Shalabhasana, or locust pose. Reaching through the crown, we're just peeled up just a little bit. On that next inhale, you could stay right here, or on the next inhale, raising the toes, the legs, reaching through the fingertips, pressing and opening here, pressing the pubic bone into the earth. Breathe. Each inhale lifts you up off the mat a little bit, and it's almost like you're trying to bring the hands together behind the back. Breathing. Awesome. Booty inhale. Lifting the arms and the legs as high as you can. Exhale. Gently lower this body. Turn the opposite cheek to the mat. Yeah, let this body just relax into the earth. And we can just allow things to be the way they are. Just here. You could at any moment, which is a great part of yoga. Eventually you take this off the mat and you can let go and you can just be in nature. You can let go of labeling or intellectualizing. You can just be in stillness, in a relationship with nature. And when we do that, we take those moments, we let go of tensions in the heart, and then we see the world is a more friendly place. If we have a lot of tension, we move to downward vritti, negative states maybe. Me and my, everything's about me and mine and my will and power over. Here in the heart, we're just allowing relationships to be. We don't need a viewpoint or opinion. Next, inhale, turning the face towards the mat here. Slide those hands up under the shoulders. Weight to the inside of the hands. Press the hips back toward the heels. Push it up, downward facing dog. Bend knees, look between thumbs. Step, hop, walk. Nice forward bend here. Soften the knees. Take that left foot, 45. Cut an edge with that back foot, knee over ankle here. On that next inhale, you could just stay here, foot framed, warrior one. Or stretch that mat, slowly float that torso, get those hips nice and square. On that next inhale, sweep those arms, good. You could stay right here, but we want relaxed shoulders. You could even drop the cactus arms, or you could press the hands into each other evenly and sort of open that heart a little bit. Stretching the mat, keeping that knee over the ankle. Yeah, cutting an edge, active posture. Awesome. Gently staying there or dropping the hands behind the back. Interlace fingers, squeeze scapula. Reach with those knuckles. You could have the palms together if you like that. Exhale, maybe folding forward and taking a few breaths here. Warrior one with Yoga Mudra, breathing. Inhale, press through the feet, slowly come on up, squeeze the scapula, release the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms, nice slight back bend. Exhale, frame that foot, stepping up with the left foot to join the right. Forward bend, let it all go here, good. So we're gonna stay here if we like, or we might take a bind where we bend the knees, we take the peace fingers around the toes, and on the exhale, we lift up through the sits bones and sort of pull up on the toes gently. And we're lifting, 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 flattening the backs of the kneecaps just to wherever our edge is. And we're not bouncing, we're just slowly reaching. And you could, on an exhale, soften the knees a little bit and then press on through gently, finding the center of the hamstrings and then reaching out to the edges of the hamstrings. Soften knees, tee those arms. Sweep those arms, reverse swan dive, slight back bend, broad line. Exhale, pull those hands down through heart center. Keep the hands here at heart center, Samastiti. Lift the toes, start to stretch the mat between the toes here, and use that technology again. Your thumbs are touching your heart center. See if you can close your eyes and bring your attention to the heart center. And then we can remind ourselves that if you're practicing, if you made it this far, you are loving this body. With asana practice here, you're loving this mind, especially if you're starting to maybe see that the heart chakra allows all to be in relationship with each other, no matter what your viewpoint or opinion is. And the more that you see that, it's not about looking for love and then finding it, you complete me now, or something like that. And then later, if you do something that I don't want or don't like, then I don't love you anymore, or whatever. This love, or what the heart chakra, the energy here, it's about realizing you're already connected to it. There's no way that you could be that you could be separate from it. And you could just allow it. It doesn't mean give up your dreams and stop desiring and don't put your will into things, or if you don't like something you want to change it or whatever. But you could, just for a moment here, if you tell the truth maybe, or if you practice, as you breathe, that you could just surrender to it all. Ishvara Pranidhana. It's in a bigger there's a bigger unity, a bigger plan than yours. It's nice, it takes a lot of pressure off, releasing tension in the heart. Beautiful. On this next inhale, we're going to sweep those arms. Nice slight back bend, broad line. Exhale, lead hard, hinge hips, forward bend. Bend knees, step back right, step back left. Awesome. Shifting forward into push-up plank, gently dropping on down. Turn a cheek to the mat. And so here we come to our apex posture here. Really opening the heart. So make sure you take this at your own pace. We'll give several different versions. So this is bow pose. Turning the face towards the mat, reaching through the crown, reach through the fingertips, peel that collarbone. Start to bring the feet back towards the buttocks. Maybe you could just stay right here. This is beautiful. Or reach back with that left hand, grabbing that foot, really pulling the heel towards, really opening the front of the leg, that quadricep region, and then maybe reaching back for the right leg here. So if you can maybe grab the ankles here, this is nice, with the tops of the feet. If your knees splay out, we really want to get those knees underneath the hips. We're already opening the heart, squeezing the shoulder blades together here. And on that next inhale, press the feet into the hands pull back on the feet, and we lift this body up just a little bit, breathing. Next, exhale, gently bringing the knees back to the earth. Gently, if you can, pulling the heels back towards the body just a little bit, and then letting go. Let one leg float on down, the other leg turning the cheek to the mat and letting it all go into the earth, taking a few deep breaths here. Feel that heartbeat. It's been beating since you were in the womb. Never takes a break. It's always beating. And we can always connect with that heart center. Turning the face towards the mat, slide those hands up under the shoulders here, tuck those toes, pressing it back, walking the hands back towards the body, and then we're just going to swing the legs around here, and maybe bouncing out the legs here a little bit. Let the feet fall from side to side, give it a little bit of a bounce, flex and point the toes. And then what we gently want to do here is maybe lower it down. So if you have lower back issues, you want to use your hands back here to lower the body down. Or reaching through the fingertips, exhale, slowly lower this body gently down to the mat. Vertebra by vertebra, gently feeling the body release into the mat. So we're just going to do one last pose here. Bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. We're going to step the feet back towards this body, bringing the heels as close as we can to the buttocks. So you might even use your hands to help that. But wherever you are in your practice, we want to keep the knees over the hips here. We don't want them splayed out. On that next inhale, start to lift the pelvic region, and some people like maybe just the arms and the forearms here on the mat. Or you can take it a little bit deeper by rolling one shoulder under the other shoulder. Get the weight into the shoulders, never the back of the head. So you might even move your head back and forth just a little bit just to see where the weight is. Interlace those fingers, really squeeze those scapula, really grab the mat with the feet. And on your next inhale, when that happens for you, lift up through the pelvis. Get that weight into the shoulders here. Really squeezing those shoulder blades together, breathing, keeping the knees underneath the hips. And whenever you need to come down, you can come down, but maybe just a few more breaths here, really pressing those hips towards the ceiling. On that next exhale, release the hands if you have the hands interlaced. Gently lower down, vertebra by vertebra, all the way down to the mat. Great. Inhale, grab underneath those knees, start to pull those knees into the hips here, and we're just going to practice Apanasana, which is bellows pose. And we can take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, pull those knees into the shoulders. Squeeze that breath out, take a few more of those. Maybe rocking side to side if that feels good and it's good for this body. Remember, listen to this body. And then press the lower back into the mat. Hold on to the knees, little circles with the knees as you press that lower back into the mat. Really releasing any tension there. Go both directions. And then gently dropping each foot to the mat. Extend one leg long, then the other leg long. We're going to drop the feet out to the side so we can let that external rotation happen in the legs where the pinky toes move to the mat. Maybe gently rock the head back and forth just a little bit here. On that next inhale, coming back through center, we can maybe take the palms up here if that feels good. This is more open and receiving, or if we want to feel more grounded in our Shavasana or corpse pose, maybe taking the palms down. And this is where we it's such a great posture, we can just allow and just let go of it all as you breathe. And if you're mentally start thinking about the future or remembering the past or organizing something, you could always use that nice little technology where on the inhale you use the voice skillfully to say here, and on the exhale you use the inner voice skillfully and say now, and that makes it a little bit harder to think. Attention to the back of the heart, and just take a few deep breaths into this heart center. Maybe you could even notice this heart beating. You can see that as an object in consciousness. listening to the teaching with an open heart. And so this unconditional love is endless. It doesn't have boundaries. It's completely open. You light a campfire, the smoke can go anywhere it wants. And that's part of this human experience, and you can move to that openness at any time, in any moment. And it becomes easier as we let go of these tensions that build up in this body, in this mind. And the greatest thing about this choiceless awareness or love is that it attracts itself because it's everywhere. And so if you compliment somebody, you're more likely to get a compliment back. If you're loving or open or receiving to someone, you're going to get that back from that person. In some way. We have a fundamental need to be loved, all of us. It's part of that unity. So bring to your mind somebody who's been loving in your life. Maybe say their name in your mind with the voice in the head, or just bring them in, or visualize. Think about virtuosity of they were loving, they were open, they were giving. And so this person was a great teacher, a really great teacher. This person taught you to be loving and open and receiving, and that's the greatest gift of the heart. If you walk in the world with an open heart, you walk in the world with an open mind. Next inhale, bringing the attention to the fingertips, start to wiggle the fingers just a little bit, maybe roll the wrists, start to animate. Good, rock the head gently back and forth on the mat a little bit. Good, allow the body to tell you whatever it needs to do. And then rolling over onto the right side, just coming into that fetal position. Here, making an intention to realize when your viewpoints and opinions, or if you're mulling over some revenge fantasy, or you're complaining about the way it is, make an intention here to just wake up in that moment and just choose to be open to the way it is. Surrender. And then maybe you could go back to being crazy. But you don't have to. That's the point of yoga. You can reduce unnecessary suffering. Making that intention or sankalpa, it's already happening. I'm already walking in the world with an open heart. On that next inhale, lengthening through that top leg, gently press up back into seated Sukhasana. Sitting up nice and tall. And on that next inhale, bringing those hands together at heart center, press the hands into each other evenly, thumbs into the heart center, relax the shoulders, sit up nice and tall. Close the eyes here. And gratitude is a great result of opening or connect, not even getting love, but connecting to what is already here. Gratitude is a side effect of that symptom. We just start to be grateful for smaller things. So first of all, gratitude for the teachers and the teachings. Here's some yogic science, some great asana postures, and some great teachings for the heart. Thank you, teachers. Thank you to you guys for practicing tonight. If you walk back out into the world or into your family with a more open heart, the whole world is more open-hearted because we're all connected. That's the point. It allows everything. And then thank you for allowing me to be the instrument of the teaching. Thank you so much. Teaching is truly my passion, so thank you so much for allowing me to teach. Namaste. Letting the hands gently drop to the lap.